Growing Pains, Part 3. YouTube, I have not forgotten about you guys, but I have not filmed since I got back from Lisbon, which was probably over a month ago. A lot has changed since then, which is why I really haven't filmed. I'm like, maybe I should just film once everything is set in stone and I have all these things lined up, but we're in the in-between. We're in my coming soon era. A move is coming soon internationally, running a half, Planet Nusa collection's coming out. A lot is changing, so this video is the in-between before all that stuff happens. I'm gonna take you guys along for all the different processes for those things. All of the chaos, all of the clutter in my head is gonna come out to you because I felt very scattered the past few weeks, we'll say. Just with any big life changes, as I was kind of implicating in Growing Pains episode 2, they're starting to settle in and it's starting to feel real. And I'm moving countries, crazy. So we'll chat about this more, but welcome to Growing Pains episode 3. We're going on a long run. It is a Friday. It is July 26th, my mom's birthday. I'm running the Copenhagen half marathon on September 15th or 16th. Training. We're training and we have to do long runs. We have to do strength training. We have to do all of the important things to make sure that we are getting to the start line healthy. I have not hired a coach or followed a training plan. I've just been vibing, but I feel like the only reason I can vibe is because I just ran 2 marathons in the past year, so I have a good sense of like a routine that works for me. I've been going to physical therapy once a week to work on my rib cage and just opening up my posture when I run because I can get pretty slouched, you know, being 6 feet tall. I get nervous before the long run. I don't know why. I think it's like injury voice in my head, like something's gonna happen, but nothing's gonna happen. We've been here before. We've done this distance many times before. In my Planet Nusa bra, my mock X's from the New York City Marathon, just because they have a few more miles in them. And yeah, let's go get it. And I will talk to you guys when we finish up the long run. We are here in New York City. I had a little weekend trip, but we are back. We're about 6 weeks away from the Copenhagen half. I'm really excited to race a half marathon. I've never really raced the distance of a half marathon. Of course, I've run it throughout training for marathons, but obviously with a half, it's less the distance, so you can plan to go a lot faster of a pace. It's kind of scary to me because I've never put pressure on myself to try to meet a time goal, but I think with all of the running experience that I've gained, especially over the past year with New York City and Big Sur, I feel really excited to set a time goal. I'm probably not going to tell the internet that because that's just too many people up in my business, but I've started to make goals with myself that are competitive and potentially goals that are a little bit out of reach. If your dreams and your goals don't scare you, you need to dream bigger and set bigger goals. So I'm really looking forward to this race in Copenhagen. I'll be going out there a few days before the race to host a shakeout with Planet Nusa, and then I'm going to be doing a Nusa talk, so it's kind of like a TED talk, but TBD on all of that. I'm in my orange set. And speaking of Planet Nusa, we're going to photograph my second collection here in New York City tomorrow. I've not touched the pieces in person yet. I designed this collection a few months ago, so it's been a while coming. You guys saw the first collection with the strawberries, and the collection's gonna be more aligned for the fall. It has a race kit in it, which I'm going to be racing the Copenhagen half in, so I can't wait for you guys to see it. But we're gonna go on a training run. I've started to declutter my apartment a little bit. I'm moving out in 2 months. 2 more months in this place. This is where I birthed, you know, I think my internet career. I got on TikTok once I moved to this apartment in August of 2020. So, you know, I thought I was going to law school in this apartment, thought I was doing a lot of different things with my life, and now I'm leaving the country. A lot to think about. I have been very overwhelmed with all of the changes in my life. I even knew some of these changes were coming when I was in Portugal. They weren't really confirmed, and I don't really think the reality of the situation hit me yet. I've spent the past few months just enjoying the summer, trying to chill out. I feel like I was kind of a victim of growing up too fast. I started working right when I got to New York City. I don't feel like I really went out and partied and did that. So I'm kind of doing that now. Not like going out and partying, but you know, just not feeling like I need to be productive with my weekends. It is August 3rd. And we're gonna go on a little training run, and I will talk to you guys later tonight. Hi everyone, we are about 5 weeks out from the Copenhagen half. We're back here on Growing Pains. I've not recorded a bunch of my life generally in the past few months. Kind of since I've known that I've been moving, I feel like grief has been hitting me really weird. There's a version of myself that existed before my dad passed, and there's one that exists now. I've been trying to post videos. Every time I open up the camera, it feels really awkward and uncomfortable, and I've been battling this for, you know, the past 11 months. I just feel like there's parts of me that aren't as accessible. I feel a little bit more guarded and a little bit more scared and to be vulnerable and just talk about whatever. I also have a lot of like inner critic issues that I work with, where I'm like, I'm not the smartest to talk about wellness, I'm not the best runner, I'm not the most educated on politics, I'm a white woman, I shouldn't be talking about this. Like, I have a lot of conflicting things that go along with my head, and I think it prevents me from just clicking record. When I first got on TikTok, I would record everything, and while that was great in some ways, I guess I learned a lot from like oversharing, which I've mentioned on the internet. Just really am trying to get back to a place where it's easy for me to create, where I feel like my life is valuable. I do feel like my life is valuable offline, obviously, but is it valuable to share online is something that I've been working with. I think as I do move abroad, that will be certainly a very fun thing to share and take you guys along for. I'm just being very cautious with what I want to tell you, what I want to tell you about where I'm going, how long I'm going, all of that stuff. I want a sense of privacy when I first move. I probably won't be starting a run club until I get a sense of where I'm living and get my boundaries and get my bearings all straight. I was talking to my boyfriend about this, and he kind of encouraged me to think bigger than I'm thinking now. I think about everything through the lens of content, so whether I'm doing a run club, whether I'm posting an outfit video, whether I'm going on a run, I'm always thinking about social media as kind of the end point of things that I'm doing. My Planet Nusa collection, I'm obviously going to sell that through social. We had to take social media photos and website photos, but I don't really think about stuff that translates off the internet because this is my job. I would never really think, oh, I'm gonna go open up, I don't know, a vintage store or start a book. Like, there's a lot of dreams that I've sort of quashed that I really want to do at some point in my life, but I don't know why I don't feel like I'm empowered to do these things. I'm not saying I'm gonna open a vintage store or write a book right now. There's definitely a lot of dreams and visions of my life that I don't think about anymore. And it's kind of sad. I used to have all these hobbies and passions and just kind of do things to do them. And I think social media has changed my relationship with my own life. Sometimes I think maybe I become more of an informational content creator where I share stuff about politics like I originally did when I got on the internet. Maybe I start a Substack, maybe I do recipe videos, maybe I do wellness videos, maybe I do stuff that's not as much about my personal life as it is now. That would make me feel more inspired to share and sort of create some sort of educational thing. I think I've hit a wall where I'm like, there's so many things going on in the world, and certainly while my life has value and importance, like I believe, certain parts of my life I think are not worth sharing online, and I think there's more meritable, inspiring, important things I could be sharing with my platform. So I think I have to get over the imposter syndrome of feeling like I'm uneducated to talk about wellness, or I'm not a doctor, or I'm not a professional runner, or I'm not a politician, or I haven't worked in nonprofits my whole life. I still have value and my voice is still me. That explains my kind of time off the internet, but there's a lot that I'm thinking about, and maybe it's beneficial if I tell you guys what I'm thinking about, or maybe I should just let this stuff marinate in my head. We're gonna take you guys along because I think in the first Growing Pains video, I was anticipating the feelings that I'm having now and the struggles and the things I'd be going through. And now we're in the thick of it, and I'm starting to feel anxious and nervous, but also very excited. So let's go on a run. That's our time to think about all this shit, and I'll talk to you guys later. Okay, good morning everyone. We are off to lift. I've been trying to lift twice a week as I've been training for the half. It's certainly a lot easier to lift twice a week when you don't have to run like marathon distance. I originally did think I was gonna run a marathon. It kind of fell through between me moving and kind of like the opportunity, whatever. So I'm only running a half, but I am open to running marathons once I'm in Europe. I feel like that could be really fun, like go on a little trip to Rome or Greece or something like that. I do notice that I start to get aches and pains when I'm not consistent with my lifting. Last week I think I lifted once and I feel like I was just running extra, maybe not sleeping enough, and I feel like the body keeps score, as they say. I'm trying to become better at my job here and be less embarrassed when I whip on my fucking camera, but it's still a challenge. I'm feeling good about the half. I haven't really thought about race strategy and like what pace I'm gonna try to hit my goal time. Definitely gonna start doing that over the next few weeks. I need to taper like probably 1 week out from the race. It's on September 15th, it's a Sunday. I'm going to Copenhagen to have a sort of like TED Talk with Planet Nusa. I'm gonna host a shakeout run. My mom and my boyfriend are coming, so those are gonna be fun aspects as well. Lifting, I feel like a lot of runners don't lift because they don't know what to do. And I feel like I also don't make videos because I'm not like a licensed, you know, fitness instructor, whatever. I don't have any of those certifications, but doing a lot of lunges and single leg movement, doing a lot of things for calves, knees. I mean, there's a lot of information on TikTok and Instagram, and I feel like that's where I get a lot of inspiration for my workouts. And I think it's kind of funny because if you're putting up like 20 plus miles a week, you're not gonna get bulky from lifting. You would really have to try hard and eat in some sort of extreme surplus in order to bulk up. I've noticed that I have my mother's body, meaning that I'm pretty athletic and I gain muscle pretty easily. Even if I don't lift, I still retain a lot of muscle mass. So now that I'm like consistently lifting, starting to see it on my body, certainly is triggering sometimes when you think that a runner has to be a certain body type, and I feel like I'm bigger than the average runner. But I do feel like running is becoming more inclusive with body types. I mean, watching the Olympics, and when you see the range of body types of the women that are able to compete at the highest level possible, definitely gives me hope that younger women can have role models that are of all shapes and sizes, and they don't have to worry about conforming to some sort of idea in their head in order to be the best in their sport. Sometimes I feel like a runner, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I feel like I'm just running as exercise. Other times I do feel like it's an identity. It is weird because it is kind of my job, but a lot of you guys know me for things outside of running as well, which I really enjoy. I think if I only shared about running, I don't know if I would love doing this, but we're gonna go to the gym, we're gonna get jacked, and then I'll take you along for the rest of my day. Hey everyone, this is the end of Growing Pains episode 3. I'm sitting outside on a Thursday afternoon, gonna do some journaling and read my book called The 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem. It's a self-help book that hasn't really been helping me. It's a helpful book, but I still feel at a loss of what I want to do with my life. Typical mid-20s bullshit, but I really feel that in terms of content, social media, and things outside of content. I mentioned in this video that I feel like I'm in a point where all I think about is producing videos. I'm not thinking of bigger things beyond TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Maybe I want to open a vintage store, maybe I want to make a cookbook, maybe I don't know what I want to do. And with this move ahead, I'm kind of just laying low for these next 7 or 8 weeks. This next video will be more of the logistics of me saying goodbye. I'm sure I'm going to be in my feelings, you know, as I say goodbye to friends and my mom comes out to move me back to Minnesota before we move abroad. There's a lot in store, a lot I'm excited about, nervous about. Gonna take you guys along through all of it, but we're in the thick of growing pains, so thank you for watching and I will see you in the next video. Bye.